Hi, Commander Galactic Bacon here, and welcome to my channel. Can I just first say a big thank you to all my subscribers and just say I really appreciate all the comments. I'm glad that my videos are helping to make so many of you get started with this game, because I know it can be a bit overwhelming as there's so much to learn in Elite Dangerous. But anyway, a big thank you to everyone who subscribes. So let's get into this today. My video today is going to be part 2 of an Elite Dangerous mining guide for beginners, and in today's video I'm going to do some basic mining in an asteroid belt. I plan to do most of the basics of mining in a hauler, so if you're just starting in the game, it's likely you will have a small ship like this one, or maybe a Cobra or something like that. Now, this ship is already equipped for mining, which I covered the loadout in the previous video. If you haven't seen that one yet, please check out the playlist at the end of this video, or if you find a link in the description below, you'll be able to get it there. Also, if you click on the subscribe button below, you will be able to get all the future videos in this series as well. But basically for this video I have my ship equipped with a mining laser, a prospector, limpet controller, collector limpet controller, and also a refinery. And I have also picked up my limpets too. Something to remember, don't forget to pick up your limpets before leaving a station. Anyway, so this system I'm in at the moment, if I check my map, I will show you my system map. For this demonstration, it has an asteroid belt, so there are a number of places that we can mine. Some other places you can mine are around ring systems, so a planet like this that has a ring system, you can mine within these as well. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to go to the asteroid belt. Now, I'm not going to cover in this video the different types of minerals and rocks that you can find mining. That's probably for another video. It's just the basic mechanics of mining for today. Okay, so when you find an asteroid belt, you will find that if you go to your navigation list, that the asteroid belt will appear as a number of clusters. So this one is the A belt cluster. It's numbered from 1 through to 7, I think. So all I've done is I have selected cluster 1 as my target. And so I'm going to fly towards this target. Okay. Okay, so we now find ourselves in this cluster of asteroids. Now there's not a lot of them here. One thing I'm going to do is just turn my lights on so we can see a little bit better. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to select, I can't select a target, but we're going to fly a little bit closer to this particular asteroid till it shows up on our radar. And I think I'm going to slow down here just now. Now you will notice on my radar that some other ships have appeared. These are NPCs. And you will sometimes perhaps find human pilots. You may encounter in asteroid belts as well. Okay, that's my... You may just be able to make out this asteroid has appeared on my radar just now. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to deploy the prospector limpet drone. So all you have to do is face towards the asteroid, and then you deploy the prospector. And it will attach itself to the surface of the asteroid, and then it will give you data. Now, if I target the limpet, you will see the data in the bottom left hand corner, where it gives us all the various minerals that are available in this asteroid. So I have 25% silver, just over 4% lepidolite, and some samarium. Okay, we're going to start mining the asteroid now, and you just have to go to your mining laser and then point the laser towards the asteroid. Like so. Then little parts of the asteroid will start to break off. You can see those appearing now. And I'm just going to divert my power over to my weapons. Limpet drone error. Deploy cargo hatch. Right. I'm glad this happened, because it's just demonstrated something that can happen when you start to mine. For the collector limpets to work, one of the things you have to do is you have to have your cargo bay open. So to do that, we go along to ship and down. Where are we? Cargo scoop lowered. What you can do is, if you don't have any collector limpets or you run out of them, you can scoop up all the pieces of the asteroid using just your cargo scoops. You have to fly the ship manually. It's a lot more involved, and it is a bit more time consuming as well. So we continue using the mining laser. Bits will continue to come off, and our collector limpets, because I actually deployed one before I started mining, that's the reason that they're picking up pieces of the asteroid. So we can deploy another collector if need be. These will usually expire after a while, and then we'll have to deploy another collector. So I'll just continue mining until one of these expires. Okay, we've had a message to say that our refinery is full. So if I now go over to my right hand panel, I go to my inventory, and then we work down till we get the refinery tab. And it's showing that we can't do any more work until we empty the refinery. So we have... okay, so what we have to do is we have to decide which material to ditch to allow us to concentrate on refining one particular material. Okay, now if we click on the one at 10% and empty the hopper, that allows us to concentrate on silver and samarium. And then if we find our asteroid again, we can continue mining away. You might find your mining laser overheats sometimes and you just have to let it rest for a while. Maybe use it in short bursts, maybe better. Okay, our refinery is full again. Get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. Continue to mine.
Expired.
Okay, our collector limpet has expired, so we need to launch another one. I'm going to do that now.
Programming limpet drone.
Okay, our refinery is full again. Right, we're now at 87 silver, so we need to get that to 100% before we have one full unit of silver, and then that will get transferred to our inventory. So we'll get rid of that one. Okay. Right, we've now got 2 units of silver, and it also tells us what the galactic average is if we were to sell that. Okay, I'll just keep mining for a little bit longer. Okay, refinery's full again.
Asteroid depleted.
Okay, it's now telling us the asteroid's depleted, so we can't do any more mining from this asteroid, so we would have to then move on to another one. So I hope this has given you enough information to go to an asteroid belt and then mine from an asteroid. What we will do is I'm going to move on to a ring system. So we're going to travel to the ring planet in this particular system, and then I'll show you how to mine in one of these as well. So I'm just going to retract my cargo scoop.
Cargo scoop retracted.
Okay.
Limpet drone error. Deploy cargo hatch.
Probably did that too soon.
Cargo scoop deployed. Cargo scoop retracted.
Okay. I'm going to make this my target. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're just going to fly straight into the rings. There is a resource extraction site which we could choose, I suppose. We'll try and get close to it. Yeah, so we're going to choose the resource extraction site, and there will probably be some ship activity there as well. Okay, so you will notice there are a lot more rocks to pick from in a ring system compared to an asteroid belt, and you can take your pick what you're going to mine from. Now, what I'm going to do here is we're going to use the prospector limpet just to analyse a rock, but rather than use the collector limpet, I'm going to do it the manual way, just using the cargo scoop, just to demonstrate that as well. Okay, so we've got our prospector. So we're going to fire that at the rock.
Prospector limpet engaged.
Then we're going to target it to get the data. There's the data there.
Complete.
So we've got hydrogen peroxide, water, methane clathrate, so not a particularly interesting rock, but we will try and mine it once we get a little bit closer. We're out of range at the moment. Okay, I'm going to stop now. Before we do that, I'm going to open my cargo scoop.
Cargo scoop deployed.
Okay. Okay, we now have a piece of rock is broken off. If we target that and just track where it's moving at the moment, if we're out of collector limpets or we don't have room for a collector limpet controller, what we can do is fly towards the piece of rock fragment, and then what we have to do is we have to line up the cargo scoop door, which is signified by the little sort of letterbox, blue letterbox thing just left of the radar. So I'm going to move slowly towards it. You have to be extra careful in these types of areas just because there's so many rocks around. You could end up crashing into an asteroid. You can see the distance of the fragment is getting closer and closer, and we now have a visual on it. So just try and line it up as best as you can. And there, it's been taken into a refinery. And if we look at inventory, yeah, there we have it there, hydrogen peroxide and methane clathrate. Okay, and if we get rid of the other stuff that we don't need just now, then that will start to process these materials. And you just go through that the same way that we did before. And what you can do is you fly to a station with your items. So I have 2 silver, and you just go to the commodities market and then you just sell your cargo there and you will get paid for it. And that's pretty much the basics of mining. Now there's a lot more you can do with mining, which I will hopefully try and cover in the next video. We'll do some more advanced stuff, but that's pretty. Okay, before you go, I just wanted to give you one last little tip today about mining that will hopefully speed things up for you a little bit. Currently I have an asteroid in front of me. I've deployed the prospector limpet, and the bottom left hand corner it's giving me a rundown of what this asteroid contains. Now, if you've tried this before, you will notice that the refinery will collect all the materials, and then you have to vent the materials that you don't want, and you have to do that every time your limpet drone brings in the materials from the asteroid. It can be a little bit tedious after a while, but I'm going to show you a way of speeding that up. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use my laser first of all, and we're going to get some materials from this asteroid. Okay, now if I go to my left hand panel, press one button and go to contacts, you'll notice that the fragment that I have just created using my laser is, it's just disappeared. I think the collector has brought it into the ship. Hold on a second, I'm just going to retract my cargo script temporarily while we do this. Okay, we'll do this again. So we've got our material, go to contacts, click on the fragment, and then we can remove water from, well, we can add water to an ignore list. Okay.
Limpet drone error. Deploy cargo hatch.
And if we click back on that fragment, we notice that if it says remove water from the ignore list, it means that water is on the ignore list, in other words. And so if you have materials that you don't want, it will automatically filter those for the collector limpet. So when you send out the collector limpet, it will only collect the materials that you want. So if I now lower my cargo scoop,
deployed.
And where's our target disappeared to? There it is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start mining again. And if we go to the refinery, watch the materials come in. So we currently have two lots of materials coming in. Say we want to concentrate on the methyl monohydrate crystals, then what we would do is we would add methane clathrate to our ignore list. So what we have to do is go over to the fragments and then add that to ignore list. I've added the right thing. Let's try that again. We'll keep mining till we get some materials. Yeah. So we want to remove crystals from the ignore list and just the other substance. So what we're going to do, I'm going to vent the methane clathrate and just concentrate on the crystals. So if we continue to mine, then the crystals should fill up our refinery. Okay, we'll just watch the refinery. Yep, so that's getting added in, and you will notice the other substance is not going into a refinery, which is going to speed up the process for you. And obviously, in a small ship, you're going to be fairly limited. Some things you can do to speed up this process is obviously to beef up your mining laser, get a better refinery, get more collector limpets, use higher spec collector and prospector units as well. These are all going to help, but in a small ship such as a hauler, you're going to be fairly limited with that. The ideal ships for mining are going to be the larger ships. On the cheap end of the scale, perhaps a keelback is quite a good option. It has a large potential for holding a lot of cargo. Other great ship for mining is perhaps a Python, would be the other one. Although you can actually use any ship to do mining, but these will obviously make things a lot easier and quicker for you. So you can see there our methanol monohydrate crystals have increased, and I would just continue mining that till it gets to 100%, and then we will have 1 unit of crystals to be able to sell on the market. Okay, just an extra little tip today. If you're just starting out in Elite Dangerous and looking for some guidance, you should check out my beginner's guide playlist, which will appear in the top right hand corner. There's a link there now. Also, if you would like to be notified about future videos, please subscribe, click the bell icon below, check out the description also below for other videos, and feel free to leave any questions in the comments if I can help you with anything to do with mining. So thanks for watching, fly safe, and I'll see you next time.